And I have little Coco and little Gizmo sitting with me. But yeah, just wanted to do a live just talking about convention safety. I don't think it's talked about enough in my opinion. Um, I talked about it along with my sister a few times on our channel, but I said why not talk about it on my own channel. So yeah, and it's now the evening, so the weather was pretty cool today, pretty gray as well, which makes me very sleepy. But the weather, it felt good though. It wasn't too cold. Excuse me, and it wasn't too hot. But it just was gray. And it's like when the weather is really gray, I'm just like, I like it sunny. It makes me happy. But yeah, wait till some people come in. Yep. And my allergies are still acting up. Hello. To whoever it is that came into the live, I just want to talk about safety at conventions. It could be a Comic Con, anime convention, whatever type of convention. I just want to talk about the safety. I don't think it's talked about enough. I talked about it a lot on the channel that I share with my sister, but I said, why not talk about it here on my own channel? So, conventions are fun. Whatever type of conventions you're into, anime, sci-fi conventions, whatever the type, Comic Cons, they're fun. But you have to be smart and, just aware, because even though you're there to have fun, there's some people that are there that might not be there for the same reasons that you're there. And especially if it's like a well-known convention, that draws a lot of crowds of people from all over the place. That's like a person that has a criminal mind. That's like candy to them for like big events. So when you're going to these types of events, you just have to keep that in the back of your mind. Like, okay, I'm here to have fun, but I also need to be aware of my surroundings. Don't wander off from the convention. Um, 'Cause especially if you're going like out of state, all your credentials, you need to keep that. I would have it like in a small little wallet. Um, Sometimes they have like the little wallets that have like I forgot what you call them, because sometimes people use those skimmers to get your information on debit cards, but you can get them off of Amazon. That will like if you bring in your debit card, it will protect people from doing that, getting access to your card information. Of course, you want to make sure you have your ID. So I would pack very small, like your credentials, like your debit card, your ID, of course. If you carry cash, because to me, cash draws more attention to yourself. Just bring a set amount of cash that you want to bring, and that's it. And keep it like in a small wallet, um, or like a small bag, which you could put closely to you, like for facing you. Like a lot of like I love those Loungefly um book bags. I have quite a few, me and my sister. But like going to like a large event like that, to a convention, I would not have it on my back because people can pickpocket. So if you're going to have it facing your front, so you could be aware. Also, if you're going, like if you have a group of friends with you, that's amazing. Go everywhere together. Like especially, there's events that happen that get dark. Walk to your hotels together. Don't leave each other. Like if you got to go to the bathroom and it's at the convention, always have your cell phone. You most important, make sure your cell phone is charged. Bring your charger with you to the convention as well, because the battery may get low. You need to charge. So it's like if you do have your friends with you, and let's just say they may want to split up and go to this event, you may want to split and go to that event. Hello, um, my OC. hello. So that way, uh, if y'all split up, y'all can communicate, call, text. And like I said, going to the bathroom, it's always wise to bring a friend with you to go to the bathroom. And like I said, always have your phone because you just don't know in this day and age. And I don't want to put like any fear in people, but it's a lot of things that have happened at conventions. You can look them up and see for yourself. And like I said, not everybody that goes with good intentions. So that's that. Like if you're going by yourself, and you got like a hotel room, like your own, who's for the convention. So like if you're walking back to your hotel, I would just walk with a group of people, not necessarily like be all up on them. Oh, hello, football. Thank you. So, not necessarily be up on it, but kind of walk like it looks like you're with them. So that way you're not by yourself drawing attention to yourself. Um, or you could just simply ask, like, hey, I'm at the convention. Do you mind if I walk with y'all? Especially like I said, if it's late. You don't want to be by yourself. Um, Also too, like I said, like a lot of times, like with social media, it's cool making online friends, and a lot of people have met up with people that they talk to online at conventions. If you're going to do that, please, 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 please meet them at the conventions, especially where it's a lot of people. The wisest place to the smartest place to meet someone at a convention is like the dealer's room where all the vendors are because there's so many people, the vendors are there. Meet them there. Don't meet them outside of the convention. Don't meet them at their hotel room. Don't meet them, you know, outside of the con. Meet them at the convention where it's people, preferably the dealer's room. Um, because you just don't know. People can be chameleons online. Or as they say, catfish. But they can pretend that they're this way, and you're like, oh, they're cool. Blah, blah, blah. You let your guard down, and you meet them outside of a con or whatever, and they're totally different and may have some plans to do something, to you. I've read up um, back in 2024 and 2025 at San Diego Comic Con. They had I don't want to say the word, but they had smex trafficking going on, and there was cops that arrested some people because it was people that went to San Diego Comic Con that didn't have good intentions. They were trying to solicit and get smex from people at the convention. So you have to be so careful because you just don't know who you're talking to online. They could be smex traffickers. I'm serious. So if you have friends with you already, have your friends with you, meet them, like I said, like at the dealer's room. But I would not go off with this person and this is your first time actually meeting them in person. um, what else? What else? What else? We've talked about this a few times on my sister's page, so I'm trying to make sure that I get everything. Oh, some conventions they sell alcohol at the con. Do not accept drinks from strangers that you don't know. Um, do not leave your drink, like if you have to use the bathroom, do not leave your drink unattended because people can do things to your drink, slip something in it. If you have a friend, leave a trusted friend that trusted, leave your drink with them, or you leave it with the well, actually they say throw it out because I don't even know if you could leave with the bartenders. I would just throw it out. But or finish it first, finish your drink first, and then go to the bathroom. Or if you really have to go to the bathroom, ain't that bad, just throw it out. It's not worth it. Hello, Edith Romo. Hello, guys. And Chandler, you said poop. I don't know why if you have to go poop. I don't know. But for y'all that's coming in, I'm just talking about like safety and to be aware at conventions because it's conventions, like I said, are fun, but it's a lot of things that has happened at conventions and you want to be safe. And, I don't want to put fear into people, but that's just something that you really have to be aware and vigilant of. Also, like for events and things like the dances, even in panel rooms, al- always like when you're going to a con, some of you guys may go to like the same con, you've been there, been going for years. or maybe like your first or second time, so you're not really familiar with the layout. But get familiar with the layout at the convention because you just don't know. Like if something pops off, look around to see like where the exit doors are. So in case, God forbid, something happens, you can run out to the closest exit door to you. You want to make sure you get the layouts of the convention. Hi, my OC. Hello. Um, I'm trying to think of what else. Um, yeah, like with photographers. Hi, Tyson Bell. It's a lot of professional photographers that are at conventions. Some of them may come up to you in person and, ask if you, want to get your pictures taken, yada, yada. They have business cards, or some cosplayers set up photo shoots with these photographers, weeks before the convention. But still, take your pictures with the photographer in a public place, preferably at the convention, inside the con or outside, still on the convention's premises. But don't um go like if the photographer's like, hey, I saw your lot. Well, thank you, Tyson. If the one of the photographers is like, hey, we can, go to your room to take the, do the photo shoot, or my hotel room. Don't do it. Don't do it. Stay where it's a public place at the convention and get your pictures taken there. If they can't take the pictures at a convention, they ain't no good photographer because there's space that they can use to get your pictures. But do not go off by yourselves with them and be so trusting, going to their rooms. I've heard horror stories of people that have trusted some photographers, and they were naive and they went back to their hotel room and a photographer tried something on them. So you have to, keep that in mind. If you are going to be drinking, please don't get to the point where you're very, very intoxicated, because when people are intoxicated, they do stupid things. And some people may not have your best interest and they don't care that you're under the influence. They may try something. So know your limits. Um, and yeah, that's what I have to say about that. Um, I'm just talking about safety at anime conventions, called comic cons. Being safe. I've talked about it on my sister's page channel that I share with, but I thought I should talk about it here. And I kind of feel like I'm rambling on, but also I would say too, like if you drive to a convention, make sure that you get parking if you can. If you can, make sure you get parking close to the convention that's walking distance. If you can't, um again, make sure that if you have friends, that's awesome because y'all can walk together back to your car. But if not, you should see about, because they have a lot of conventions now, I notice, are starting to get like police presence, which is good at cons. Maybe you could ask the police officer to escort you to your car. um Also too, like if you Uber, because a lot of times, we took taking a couple of Ubers, my sister and I, to conventions and to and back. um Make sure, like if you Uber or Lyft, that they have like the license plate, of course, the driver, all that. Check the license plate before you get in the car. And be like, whatever, because they'll tell you who your driver is, their name. But like, say their name's Jeff. Check to see the license plate match, on the app. And be like, hey, are you Jeff? You'll know. And if you get like a vibe, like I don't know, you can cancel the ride. But be smart with that. Um, what else? What else? What else? I'm trying to think. If you see like suspicious activity at conventions, don't feel afraid to speak up. Let the staff members know. Like I said, a lot of conventions are starting to get like a lot of police presence. Let the officers know, the staff members. Um, if you see some suspicious activity going on, don't feel like you're a snitch for telling, because if you don't speak up, it could something really god awful would happen. Also, like online, if you're seeing like suspicious activity on social media with someone saying they're going to do XYZ, at a convention, let the staff and the convention people know and show them the screenshots and all that. Um, it's like I said, I don't want to scare people, but it's just I felt like I should talk about this on my channel because and that's with anywhere that you go. But you just have to think that safety, safety, safety in your mind. Yes, conventions are fun and you want to have fun and enjoy yourself and you can, but you need to think about those things and be vigilant, because this is the world that we live in, unfortunately. And like I said, you can look it up on your own time, but it's a lot of things that have happened at conventions, and some of them could have been prevented, but you know, yeah, you just have to just keep that in mind and think about those things, be vigilant, keep your head on a swivel, you know, don't be so hello. I don't know what that says, first air, but hello. Thank you for coming into the live. But if anyone else wanted to add in the comments, some tips for staying safe at conventions, please write it in the comments. Because I don't know, I think that I covered everything, but I don't know. I might have not. But yeah. But that's just the main thing. Because we've encountered some crazy things that happened at conventions that we went to. I won't say the name of the con, but a few years back, there was a guy. This was late at night at the con, and see, we had staff members at the door that check, and they're supposed to check that like the props and all that stuff. But this guy actually brought a real sword inside the convention. Luckily, he got past one of the staff members, but he was walking in the con, and one of the staff members, another staff member, saw him and stopped him, and I guess they escorted him out of the convention. One of our friends saw it and told us about it. But yeah, a person actually brought a real sword, and thank God that the staff member that was doing his job saw that and it made him leave because that could have you never know what he was planning to do. So yeah, and I would say that too, like if you're working at a con like a staff member, pay attention to who's coming in and out of the cons, and really be on your p's and q's because it's nice to work at a convention because you can get free membership and free merch and things like that, but at the same time you signed up. No, you're not getting paid. You're volunteering, but still do your job, even if you are doing it for free, because you would feel bad if something god awful happened, and you just there because you want the free membership for next year, and you don't do what you're supposed to be doing. Clifton Williams, hello. So that's what I have to say about that. I don't know, also too, I would say this for guys and girls, as they say, cosplay does not equal consent. Like I said, on my sister and my channel, we've talked about how we felt about the revealing cosplays, lewd cosplays. Men do them too, but it's more so women. We've shared how we felt about it. We're not really for that. We don't agree with it, but at the same time, no one deserves to get harassed or touched, whatever type of that's outside of a convention. But since I'm talking about conventions, the convention, whatever they're wearing, no one deserves harassment or to get groped or anything. So cosplay does not equal consent. If that happens to you, if you're the one getting touched on, let a staff member know. Let them know. And if you witness it, a person doing it to someone else, you know, so I would say step in, or if you don't feel comfortable stepping in, let a staff member know. No one deserves that. And it's funny because my sister and I, we have like safe words. So like when there's like a creeper at a con, we'll say, "Hey, we need to get to that panel. That panel is about to start," and then we leave. So, if I witnessed that and I saw a guy or a girl being uncomfortable, I even if I don't know them, I'm gonna go over there and be like, "Hi, we got to get to that panel," and I will grab them away from the weirdo. So, oh, you have an anime con? Okay, what convention are you going to? Yep. But yeah, I'm just talking about convention safety and things like that. But I don't know, was there anything else to mention? Um, I don't think. If anyone has anything else that they want to mention in the comments as far as safety at conventions, please, leave it in the comments. But yeah, I think that is it. And I appreciate everyone that Anime Central. I feel like I heard of Anime Central, but then I don't know. What state is that in Anime Central? Because I feel like I've heard of that. But yeah, you can have fun, but you guys, be safe, think about safety, and I don't want people to be paranoid, but you gotta be realistic. And unfortunately, it's some people that love, oh, in Chicago. Okay. Well, I hope that you have fun. Most importantly, stay safe. But yeah, um, there's people that love these types of events because it's like so many people and it gives them opportunities to try to do things. So you gotta, guys think about that. But I think I covered everything. I hope so. I hope that I covered everything. But yeah, so I guess I'll end the live. Cause I don't know. I think I covered everything, but I don't want to drag this live out. And, I appreciate everyone that has come into the live, and has liked the live. I appreciate it. I don't know. If I think about I'm only going for a day set, I would be, yeah, that's fine. Sometimes I've been to conventions, like 3-day conventions, 4-day conventions, but sometimes just one day to go to a convention, that's all you need, because sometimes the cosplay burnout or convention burnout be real because you be so tired when you go to them and they're like 3 or 4 days, you're like, I'm tired. So it's like like going for a day is cool. And I've been to 2-day conventions, which were really fun too. And it's like, I still feel refreshed and everything. And it's like I got my convention fix. And then it's like the cosplay, the not cosplay, but the convention, like con depression kicks in like on a Sunday, the last day of a con. So yeah, but yeah, I hope you enjoy it, and yes, be careful. But I think I'm gonna end the live here. Thank you guys. God bless. Y'all stay safe out there. And until next time, bye bye.